All right. So welcome back to a fresh week of this particular class. Last week, we were looking at a few things related to how we get the body, the speech, the fundamentals, the ethos, the pathos, the logos, how those things are related to what? To a speech, and how they are also very beneficial in terms of getting you to where you need to go in what? In public speaking. Now, we also looked at a few things last week. We looked at introduction, we looked at body, and we also looked at conclusion. Can you guys see my screen and can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the introduction, we're looking at a few ways. We're saying, how do you build a good introduction? And how do you build a good introduction? There are 3 ways to build a good introduction. You know, I said last week that when we were growing up in our respective schools, when we wanted to pass college through high school rather, they like write essays, write letters for you to be able to pass. When you were doing those writings, you structured your letters, you structured them very well. You structured them to have a body, to have an intro. You structured it to have a body, and you also structured it to what? To have a conclusion. This must become part and parcel of you. You must know how to get into the introduction of something, get into the body of that thing, and then be able to conclude. Human beings, our brain is wired in such a way that it picks it as it's coming. So your first 15 seconds to 30 seconds of anything you want to say must extremely be what? Captivating. It must have high level of attention span. You must understand that there's the introduction, then you get to what? I said after the introduction, there's something between the introduction and the body. What was that? Can anybody remember? There's something between the introduction and the body, and there's something between the body and the conclusion. What was that?
Is it transition or something like that?
Yes, transition. So the public speaking of before now, the one that our grandfathers and fathers learned was almost more like this. The public speaking iteration with the Obama generation and the new generation of public speakers, they go in this particular way. And in fact, having a transition in this particular order helps you land your listeners, helps you land your readers, even though you are writing, helps you land your listeners and helps you to land your readers in the body very, very well. So let's see, because I was telling you that boredom actually does not exist. So let's see, we're looking that day that, so we're looking at a few things that day. Let's get into a few examples. So let's get into a few solid examples. I want to quickly bring something up. The examples of computers that day. So we're looking at something. So I think on that particular example, we're like looking at personal computers. Why with digital technology. So we're looking at it and saying that 1995 personal computers were not so popular, and then Apple came, and then at the moment we have digital devices. So when you want to be able to build that particular body, that particular introduction rather, you need to be able to use 3 things. You need to be able to use examples, you need to be able to use storytelling, and you need to use one last technique called what? Diving. An example. So let's use examples to build a body. Let's use the example to build an introduction rather. Let's use example to build what? An introduction. So you build introduction for you to make it very captivating for the first 15 to 30 seconds. You build the introduction using examples. So if they say, should the international community interfere with national politics? Just like I was saying, you give some examples and say, like in 1994, Iraq was going through some rest, like international community like US intervened, and see what Iraq is today. You now say 28 years after they are in a war something. You say, what happened in Pakistan? You are using another example. What happened in Libya during Gaddafi time? You are using another example. So once you use like those three examples, you now transition. This is where your transition now comes in, and you say, so my name is Success Ozomoya. My name is Marcel, and based on this, I'm here to be able to give you my points why I feel the international community should not intervene in national politics. So you now go into the body. But we're still dealing with the introduction, and I've looked at one way to use the example to build your introduction. Let's look at another way to use example to build your introduction, which I was not saying that of the personal computer. So you must have a unique selling proposition for that your particular introduction. You must have a unique selling proposition for that your introduction. And sometimes you just need to trust the idea that you have and just risk it forward to get a very good introduction, especially something that resonates with you, because you have a unique selling proposition, right? So sometimes, like there are sometimes I'm in board meetings and I'm like, and then we are trying to brainstorm on something and nobody is saying anything. I can just be like, it's because, a lot of people are scared of public speaking. So for you to be able to introduce that type of thing, you can just be like, well, hi boss, I have an idea. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I have something to say. And you say it, and you have already introduced even though it's not the best, it has given you the opportunity to fail. And there's high possibility that particular idea, if you just trust it, it might lead to another idea. So you build your introduction using examples, and you are not scared to be able to put it out. And then I was looking at it, and the next way to be able to build a strong introduction is through storytelling. There is a popular writer called Chimamanda Adichie. She wrote Half of a Yellow Sun. I think something like that. Chimamanda, if you go on YouTube, this is going to be an assignment for this particular week. If you go on YouTube, search for the content on the act of storytelling. The act of storytelling by Chimamanda Adichie. So people use storytelling to one of the greatest storytellers that has ever lived is Steve Jobs, the CEO of Apple. Hi guys. So the CEO of from the former CEO of Apple, rather. So he was so good. Chimamanda Adichie is an African. You guys possibly know her. Let me quickly, you can check that on YouTube. Chimamanda Adichie, she's an African. She writes Chimamanda, Chimamanda Adichie, yes. So you go find her, yes, the act of storytelling, STOROY. So you read, yes, Chimamanda Adichie on storytelling. So this is your assignment. You go look at it on storytelling. You go look at a couple of things around that. The reason I'm using her as a case study is because she's African and it resonates with where we are from. So let's move for that and see something else, something that's non-African. So to global, for a much more techie and global context, let's look at someone like Steve Jobs, or someone like Elon Musk. The type of introduction those guys do in terms of their public speaking, in terms of what they want to cut across to people. You remember we have pathos. Pathos is what? Remember we have ethos, we have pathos, we have what? Logos. Ethos is what? Confidence. Pathos is what? Emotional. Logos is what? Logical. So those guys, they use loyalty, which is this particular part, they use trust to be able to also sell. So you see, there's a particular I sent a video into the group, Apple 1984 adverts. The reason why I sent Apple, so just go on YouTube and type 1984 Apple commercial. This particular commercial, there was a game that they were playing on that particular day, and Apple was to release its Macintosh into the market. For a while, the sales in terms of Apple has already dropped too for a while. So they wanted to release this particular product, and they wanted that particular product to do extremely well. So Steve Jobs used storytelling to be able to give this particular message. So let's look at this message. Guys, tell me what you deduce from this particular message. Right, we'll look at the second way to build a strong introduction. The first way we said examples. The second way we said what? Storytelling. So let's see how you build this storytelling. It's a 1 minute video. I said you guys should watch it before the class. Oh, why this? I'm hopeful for a stronger data. Oh, I wish we could. I wish. Okay. It's working now.
And you'll see why 1984 Macintosh. And you
I'm going to pause it at this point here. Guys, did you guys see the way that girl was running with the sledgehammer? So you know this before technology, before this Apple, right? That we had like personal computers, we had like before this particular, we had restrictions in terms of the way you could access the internet. A lot of things were just happening. So the message that he tried to were like people. So they had like a baseball game. So everybody was watching the baseball game. In fact, the people that went to that particular baseball game, right? They spoke about this particular 1 minute advert more than the whole game that they went to watch. So you see, he was looking at people that were in captivity. Apple was going to release a brand new product that will bring people out of captivity. Using this particular person with a sledgehammer, they were all in captivity looking at it. And at the moment, the dictator, so the guy that was, so if you notice, that time too, we had a lot of dictators that were doing a lot of things. So before the dictator got to where she had released it, and everybody is free. So fast forward a few years down, this particular product, because of this singular story, right, became a household name or a global name to be able to reckon with this particular Macintosh because of that particular one. So he painted it. It gives you like this whole it gives you if you listen to, you need to listen to Steve Jobs. So these are guys that have like the best. Steve Jobs, Obama, Hitler, they are great guys. Then we are going to look at someone today. Toast is on the Toastmasters list. So we see it will tell you the iPhone is Jesus' phone. They're building access to the world from your fingers, and you can be able to access the world, gives you this painting and all that. And honestly, before you even think of it, you have what gone to buy the iPhone because of this way he does it so well. So well. And Apple has done very well with this style of selling, using storytelling to be able to gain access to their audience. So we can also look at let's say using storytelling to build an intro. So let's say they ask you to give a public speaking on a topic, unity in diversity. They say give a public speaking on this particular topic, unity in what? In diversity. So let's see. Your unity in diversity topic that you're about to do, you say, okay. We use storytelling. So let's use both storytelling and a few examples on it. Let's say, okay, so the storytelling will tell the story of, we say, okay, 1994 in Rwanda, the Hutus were killing each other because of so and so things. So unity in what? In diversity. Let's look at unity in diversity. So you now went further to, you might go further to say, about 500,000 people that's unity in diversity. Like in South Africa, there was a time there was apathy. They were killing themselves. Meanwhile, even at the time, the owner of Airpeace had to bring some Nigerians back to Nigeria. So you say 1994 in Rwanda, some people were killing each other, and then give another story that is also very short that portrays that particular heading. So I can say 500 people were killed during the South Africa apartheid, and then I can now say, and then look at it in Nigeria. Although we have a unified country, you can see what is happening in the northern Nigeria, and you can see the conflict that is happening. Although we want so much unity, but there's so much diversity going on. I cannot go on and say, well, although this seems to be, my name is Romet Dominic, and although this seems to be this seems to be the reality, we still find some religious, some ethnical, some this thing that unites us as a country, although we are divided by that. Then you now start giving the body why you feel unity in diversity can be possible. You now start breaking down the body why you feel unity in diversity can be possible. So Martin Luther King, Obama, and then there were guys that actually did this particular part. And then you can now come to a conclusion. Let's say if you give the body and give all the reasons for why there is unity in diversity, right? You can say, end it and say, okay, so with this point of mine, my name is Egona Love, and I'm saying, and I believe in the peaceful coexistence of what you can use. So you can give this particular storytelling an example style to be able to gain a strong hold of your introduction. Then the last way is the diving. So diving, for some people, they just introduce. I said introduction, body, and conclusion. For some people, they don't even take you through a journey. They just dive in. This set of people, they just go straight and just give you the gist very fast. They go straight, they introduce themselves. But one thing that is good, the one thing with this is that you can compare this diving to like a boxing type of match, but not like it's coming to jab you. The guy is just going straight into the topic, head on. Some people don't like it. Some people feel like you're coming too strong on that type of public speaking, but there are some people that don't have the time. But one thing that helps those kind of people is the tone of their voice. They are able to raise their voice to a certain extent while they are giving those type of those type of speeches outside. So some of them are assertive, and some of them they are really loud. Like someone like Marcel. Marcel, please say hi. I was someone like going on now. I don't think you want to be doing loud type of public speaking. Hi, Marcel. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm gonna shout hallelujah.
Hi, I can hear you.
Oh, and your voice is not up to the decibel level yet. So for you to be able to execute type of public speaking, you have to what, get a little bit of variation, especially in your what, in your tone. So voice tone is a major advantage when we come to this particular thing. So it is good for you to introduce transition, build your intro. Don't just dive straight into it if you are not an expert. And then your transition can be, I'm going to be showing you the next couple of minutes why I'm going to be showing you in the next couple of minutes why so and so thing is better than so and so thing. Then you now say first on our list or second on our list and third on our list. The thing is, in public speaking, some people, when you listen to some people, they talk. You are getting something from the beginning, but at the middle you get lost. Towards the end, you get found. Towards the middle of the end, you get lost again. Then they will not conclude something. The thing is, less is more. You see, I was telling some of my staff yesterday that the God nature is a nature of less. Like, imagine how God created the earth as a public speaker. Let there be light. I am that I am. He's introducing himself. I am. Short words like that. So sometimes less is more. If you are living in the God nature, you have to understand that you can just go, instead of you to go give 100 reasons, 5, 10 reasons. You can list out 5 reasons, then refine those 5 reasons to what? To 3 reasons or even 2. I tell you the truth, it will make much more impact than when you give hundreds of reasons. So you can go first on our list, second on our list, which is now forming your body. First on our list, second on our list, third on our, or finally on our list. Then you conclude and say, so that for people to, let me tell you one secret in this. You see, most of these guys, when they are doing public speaking, when they are concluding, they will say, so a great man once said, so and so this thing, and so this thing, so that you will start looking at them. So the human mind travels, one sound comes into the ear. And this sound, if it is connected to what? Emotion. I told you that public speaking must be connected to emotion. An emotionless speech is a lifeless speech. An emotionless speech, I said again, is a what? A lifeless speech. So these people, they connect it and say, somebody that one great man, maybe like a Martin Luther King, maybe like one guy that has really done very well. They not tell you that, just like, and their conclusion, they might not tell you that, just like we know, a great man once said that if you say so much, that. So in the sort of further, so this great man has just said, I conclude with so and so what? So and so this. Or maybe just say, Coke, something. Okay, so so they just go around it in that particular transition manner. So this is like a transition before the what? Before the main what? The main conclusion. A main conclusion. So you can, let's say, Martin Luther King says that cash flow, let's say like a Robert Kiyosaki says like cash flow is better than maybe having liabilities. So they will not, maybe you give the reason why cash flow is better than liabilities, then you give the introduction, you give the body. In your conclusion, you now say, in the words of the great man Robert Kiyosaki something, cash flow is better than this. So why you are not saying it, people will now start looking at you in the light of that particular that particular great man, and they will not do like this for you now. They will now clap. So they will first of all look at you if you've actually made sense and now rank you. Instantly, it will no longer be you that you are talking there. They will rank you straight up to what? To the level of that great person that you are transitioning into and you are trying to use for your for your conclusion. So in public speaking, there are 2 types. There's the ruler and there's the rebel. There's the ruler and there's the rebel. Our class should be ending shortly. So we have quite a lot to finish on for today. So let me just quickly rush up. So there is the architect and the rebel. There's the ruler and the rebel. Now, there are techniques that you apply if you're a rebel public speaker, and there are techniques that you apply if you're if you're a ruler public speaker. Just say somebody like me now, I can be a rebel and I can be a ruler. If I want to go and contest for the post of Nigeria president now, I need to go and prove, I would need to prove myself, even more than Peter Obi now. I will need to prove myself, tell them the reason why I'm the best guy for them. But you see some guys that are even contesting for this same presidency, like them Tinubu, like them Jagaban, and this other guy. They are not doing, they are okay, like now if I come, like in Vorem now, let's say if I wake up in the morning and I want to address my people, I might not need a special style of, a special will to be able to address. If I open my mouth, I'm about like the ruler here and I'm saying, okay, oh, everybody can do this. If you go to church, your pastor, when he wants to address you guys, he does not need a certain way. He's speaking to you as as a ruler. So as a ruler, let's say, or like a Don Jazzy, I put something here, like a Don Jazzy. If a Don Jazzy just come on screen and he wants to talk about music, you see that he's already a god in it. So he just goes and hey, and he's saying, the talk is saying so much. But somebody that has not gotten, so you need a lot of credibility in your niche before you can grow into the ruler type of public speaker. As a rebel type of public speaker, you need a lot of information to be able to meet up. You need a lot of information and statistics to be able to do meet up that particular line. Then I think one other thing that you must do while you are looking at the body and the conclusion and the introduction is understand that a lot of people, when they want to give a presentation or a public speaking, they are very focused on the fact that they are going for a presentation instead of them to be focused that this presentation I want to go for, I want people to also experience me. So I want you guys to start focusing on creating an experience when you have a public speaking to do. Focus on creating an experience. More like you tell yourself that I have a 5 hours workshop, a 5-minute speech. So you say, okay, how do I make these people in these 5 minutes experience me so much? How do I make these people in these 5 hours experience me so much? What is the experience you want for it? So design it in such a way and give them an experience. Give them an experience. I said everyone has a unique selling proposition. You have a background because you have experiences from where you are coming from. With these experiences, you are able to innovate, you're able to create new things, and you're able to also honor the past of the background of the things that you knew before and build on it by using those unique selling propositions to be able to do better. So that's why public speakers are different from each other. Some people find a way to be able to balance it out. Then one thing you must understand is that there are 3 skills that help you connect to your audience. Maybe it's a psychographic person, and then you now say, okay, you have to put in this particular 3 acronyms in your mind. I sent it to the group this morning, which is EPA. And I said, you need to be able to put emotions there are 3 skills that must help you connect to your audience. For me to connect with you guys very well, I've had to understand what happened to you this week, what happened to success this week. You came in late, so that I know that you're enjoying yourself in the city of Lagos and you're balling your life because you're enjoying. But so now you see, you must have a little bit of knowledge too about your audience to be able to emotionally build a connection with them and then give them proofs. Like in this particular class, I've given you some proofs of some great men that have done this, the Obamas, the Hitlers, the Toastmasters. I've given you a few proofs because if you are talking to guys on Wall Street, those guys, they want proof that what you are saying is going to give them money. Anytime you go and talk to people, apart from the fact that you connect with them emotionally, some of them, they want proof to know that what you are saying emotionally is what's true so that you're not boboing them. Then if you finish giving them proof, some of them like, okay, I get you. I understand the emotional part that you're coming from. I also see that you have enough proof. But how do I take action on this information that you have just given to me? How do I take action on this information you have just given to me? If you are actually able to feed your audience with emotions, with proof, and actions, or the way to be able to apply the information that you have just given to them, you will always leave your audience with a what? With a standing ovation. Because if you are able to focus on the structure so that people are able to know that, yeah, you are using the good indicators that can take your audience on a good journey, then you would always, again, like I said, what? Wow, your audience. So I was talking about tone variation coming from what? From the inside out. And I was saying that the best way to ensure this is to be organically connected to the what? To your material, in the sense that you must have studied your material. When you are talking to someone, there's a way I will start talking to someone. Relax, relax, relax. All of you, just relax. Relax now. Calm down, calm down. You see, it does not work like that. Or you can change the variation to, hi, everyone, please relax. Please calm down. Please calm down. You see, there's a difference in how the empathy would be what we would cutting across. So tone variation sometimes, and all the time, not sometimes, it's very important to how our message is what is being delivered. You can just erase your voice and the way you wanted to honor someone would not come in that particular word, in that particular manner. So no one will be able to understand you if your variation is not at the best. And you must understand something. There are ways to be able to there are creative techniques to be able to deliver your point home very well. Some people use demonstrations. Like you see some public speakers, they come on stage with props. Some can come with something to demonstrate. Some people use statements as like some diabetes kills more than cancer. There's a particular public speaking video I would want you guys to quickly see now as we conclude in today's class. And let's see how that guy pulled it off. Let's see. Wow. Gosh, it's from Mohammed Katani. So it was asked to tell, it was on cancer. And you know, smoking kills more than diabetes. So this, just watch this particular controversial clip. So after introducing him, he used props to be able to do this very well.
The power of words, Muhammad Qatan. What? Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking?
So do you guys see this, right? So he was able to use this to what? To drive his point home. Did anybody see this and did any of you resonate with this? Did anyone see this and did anybody resonate with this? Hi, please unmute. Did you guys see this and did you resonate with this? Hi, did you guys see this and did you resonate with this?
I think the network is glitching a bit to my end.
All right. So because you saw this and you resonated with this and you're positive, your answer was positive. So this ends our lecture.